soul, cleansing out the body, cleansing out everything, cleansing, 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 to your ultimate relaxation and manifestation. Let's just move the energy around you, your aura, all of that jazz. And let's all channel together, bringing your heart in front, breathing strongly, moving the force of the universe. As a collective, we help each other heal the past and bring forth the future. As a collective, we are stronger together than we are by ourselves. As a collective, we lead with our own self-care and unconsciously support the self-care as others. As a collective, we believe that anything is possible. Feeling this up, feeling your heart grow warm, to know you are not alone, to know that you are loved, to know that this work that you're doing is not even just from you, it is from all of us, from Source, Universe, God, whatever it is from every aspect, and feel it on a cellular level. Feel it through your nervous system, your sensory perception, the senses. Feel it, 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 beautiful, 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 feel it, feel it, feel it, lovely, feel it, feel it, feel it. Okay. Now I want you to allow yourself to have a vision in front. And this vision is the future. You've gotten what you wanted. You've gotten what you needed. So what does life look for you now? Whatever that first thought, that's what it is. Connect into the highest picture of yourself, the highest vision of your future, the highest collaborative learning space for yourself. See a beautiful world in which we treat ourselves with care, we treat others with care, and we treat this planet with care. See all of these things. See all of these things. See all of these things. is a great money manifester. I want you to bring this money into your life, honey. Money, money, money. So I'm gonna choose this desert rose. It's also called, it's it's another type of selenite. I forgot. It's like something selenite. Desert selenite. And the reason why is because it's so like, let me see. It's very rigid. Has a lot of lines, but it's like talc. It's if I was to hit it with a hammer, it would like easily dissolve. So this is not a stone that you could charge. Well, yes, you could charge this, underneath light, but you can't. So okay, I'm getting into a lot. So with stones, you can always charge your stones with like moon water, or you could, if you wanted to use solar water, you could use a particular type of energy on a particular type of day. That kind of water. This is not a stone you can do that, because if you put it in there, it's going to disintegrate. So this is much more airy fairy. It's much more of the delusion. It has more delusion, illusion, much more of the psychic, much more metaphysical. Very much so, I would say, Neptune, Jupiter, Pisces. You could sprinkle adjunct a little Sagittarius in there, but mostly this whimsical kind of energy to it. And what this is for is that whenever you have a little bit of pessimism in your life, you could use something like desert rose to help make it lighter for you, okay? So you don't have to think about that pessimistic thought. So before, we had talked about when you are going after what you want, you will sometimes hit a wall, and that wall will be difficult, fucks you up in the head, because you're like, this sucks. But again, like I said, there ain't nothing new under the sun. So what you do is you just have to get to the next side. But a part of that is like you are sitting through the discomfort, but also you get to a certain point where you have to lift that up, because once you get past the discomfort, you still have to do the work to get past your initial problem. It's tough to have to do shit and be like, feeling insecure at the same time. So this is a lovely stone that gives you the opportunity to kind of lighten your mood as you're going through what you need to go through, okay? And again, everything you experience in your life is perfectly curated from your soul contract to get what your soul needs. Again, I say it all the time. Life can have some amazing shit, and it can have some straight up fucked up shit. But on a soul level, souls don't vibrate in the way that we vibrate in a, let me say this again. The principles and the concepts on a soul level are very different than on a physical level. If something hits my hand, that shit hurts. On a soul level, that is not a concept. So something that we go through that could be traumatic in whatever kind of way. Sometimes traumatic can just be like somebody laughed at you and you didn't even think that, or like, you were in an accident or something like that. But yet, here it is, the soul understood through the soul contract that it needed to go through this experience to have a awakening of the internal soul in order to fully understand the experience. So it understood that there was going to be certain elements within this life that it would come into contact with, and it agreed to it, because if it didn't like that, it would have chosen a different life. Well, you, as the soul level, would have chosen a different life. Now, you might be thinking, well, if a soul, is like, can see all this stuff up here, why does it need to live this actual experience to understand? Twofold. Some souls are going to be helpers. They're going to be energetic helpers. They're going to be your guardian angels and things like that. And it's going through the lived experience that helps them, or help it, the energy, be able to help us, to connect with us, to allow it to vibrate at a level that is familiar and helpful to us. And then the second thing is, everything in life is purposeful, period. Everything. A tree growing, bacteria, a little particle in the air, everything has a purpose. So stress out on that field, and it's not as simple, but you learn so much more from it. Same thing about going to school. You know, I see people say like, oh, just, you know, go to school for some impossible things. Go to school to be a doctor or something like that, right? But to actually go to school to be a doctor requires a lot more, you know, effort. Like someone could say like, okay, you want to do these pre-med classes, and then you want to get into this kind of fellowship, and then you need to do this kind of work, and da 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 da. But it doesn't take this test too. It doesn't take away the fact that it's still difficult. So the soul learns so much more by living the actual experience, and it's for the overall vibrational good, because as we go on generation and generation and generation, we as a collective energetic community existence are raising the vibration and going higher and higher and higher. And that is overall like the intention of this experience, but it's going through live. Think about it. If you experience something traumatic and you make it your point to never have someone else within your power have to experience that, you wouldn't have that same drive if you didn't experience it. We would hope, but it is sometimes it's like going through the fire. You teach other people how to walk through, and you like use an extinguisher. It's like, let's not make this happen again, you know. So that's a long view of the universe. So if you really like that kind of conversation, you can join us on Patreon, where I definitely talk about these different things, and I keep it 1000% real. And we have our energy healing circles where we come together and we do channeling and just collective healing, and it's always a wonderful moment of community to bring us together. So that's on Patreon. So I want you to think about whatever it is that is your dream, this goal. Make it a goal, you know, make it a goal how you want to change your life. your crown, boom, all the way up. Keep the energy flowing down as well. So bring that energy down, and that right there is a gesture of manifesting, bringing the energetic into the physical. That's also a sign of making the money that kinds, which there's nothing wrong with that as well too, you know. I think that people feel so, continue to bring the energy down while I'm explaining this, people feel so weirded out by money. They're like, I don't want to seem like I'm materialistic. But you are made of material. Like, you know, we are all these souls, but like, you're gonna have to feed yourself, or you're not going to survive. You're gonna have to, you know, clothe and house yourself in some type of way, or you're exposed to the elements. You're gonna have to give yourself the financial support to bring your creativity into life, or you might feel stifled, and it just continues to stack on top of that for whatever you're looking for in life. So don't be afraid to ask for money or want money. There's nothing wrong with that. Doing fucked up shit in life because of money, that's a problem. But to want to be provided for, to want to bring others value through something that you're passionate about and be compensated for, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because think about it. If you don't have money, someone else is having the money. So if you feel like you have a good heart and that you have a lot of, you know, gifts to share and change you want to see for the better, wouldn't you want to make decisions with money and not just leave it to somebody who's like, you know, doing some fucked up shit? Exactly. Y'all better manifest this. I'm just sending you a bag. Sending you the energy. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Bringing this energy down. I know we got to talk about money. I'm trying to water your roots. I just want to see y'all win. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But this Venus energy comes with delayed gratification. So work hard. Like, get to the other side. You can do it. And what I like to explain as I'm clearing this stuff out is that there are two paths that we're walking on at the same time. We're walking the path of the spiritual, and if you're a religious person, you're religious, that's fine. Or if you don't have, you know, you don't have religion at all, or you or something else, you have a different name, that's fine. You're walking this path, and this path is saying that we are a collective energy, that, you know, we are one and we are ourselves at the same time, that there's nothing that is happening in life that can prevent us from going after what we want, that we can manifest, that we can bring, that we can heal, that we can balance, that we can have the right circumstances we need to have life. There's nothing that's limiting us. And then you're walking another path, boop, 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 at the exact same time, called the systemic. Or, you know, in a nice kind of way, maybe the intersectional path. And this path here is saying, oh, well, what is your gender? What is your sexual orientation? What economic background did you come from? What country did you come from? What is your able-bodiedness? What are these other things up? These different identities that encompass you in various ways. And these two are happening at the same time. And I often see in the spiritual community that people want to just focus on the spiritual, like, oh yeah, you know, like these things don't exist, you know, or don't let those things stop you from living life and living your best life, right? Which is okay, sure, you know, like you are much further beyond any of the physical, but to ignore the aspects of you, to make your lived experience invisible, means it takes the context away from all the things you had to get to the other side. It makes it invisible because it's inconvenient for other people. People don't want to deal with it. They don't want to have some connection with you and your fucking life, for real, like falling in love with your life? Do you feel like you have everything that you need to manifest the life that you want? We'll start to ask for it. Do not ever, 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 ever be afraid to ask the universe for what you want, because you don't feel like you deserve it, or you're afraid that you might get it too soon and you won't know what to do with it. Fuck that. If you're getting it, you're going to be able to do with it, or know what to do with it. And even if you don't know, I want you to fucking bob and weave in this bitch, okay? I want you to be able to be like, I'm going to figure it the fuck out. Like, I'm going to figure it out. Just do it like that. And that is how you bring the life that you want closer to you. Don't be afraid. You're going to be fine. I think when people start to overthink and they look at things and they really see it as big and intimidated, they might be surprised to know that, like, there's some things that you've gotten through in life that were huge, but you just were in the moment. You got through them. And when you look back, you're like, how the fuck did I get through that shit? Because you just got through it. You don't got time to overanalyze it. You got your path. Whenever you hit a challenge, you get over it. You just allow the energy to flow out and just keep it going for that delayed gratification on that other end. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed this session on manifesting in this area too, okay? So we start our session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to connect you to your individual healing journey and us as a collective and a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Yamonja, Oshun, Mawu, and all the Taurus. Please connect us to the Archangels, Spirit Guides, Spirit Animals, our lineage, and all for the highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing experience and bringing us forth as a community. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. In these moments, I'm just going to go through and take the opportunity to just read the energy, read the collective energy, and I'll let you know what comes up, but just relax. So continue to breathe in and out. Breathing in, filling all the way up. Exhale, let it go. Couple more. Final breath. Okay. Accept change is the message that is coming across, and we're going to use that in our session today as we're doing clearing out. But accept change. There's big, and when I mean big, I mean enormous change ahead of you within, I would say, the next couple of years. And by couple, I do mean like 2 or 3. There's a lot of change in front of you for what it is that you will be doing and focusing on in life. And so it is very important for you to embrace change. And what I mean by this is that when you are embracing change and you are stepping outside of yourself and you're connecting to a path that is bigger than the life that you had before, it feels like you are not in control. So within your life, if you feel that you are not in control or that there's pressure, whatever area it is pointing to is just letting you know that you have outgrown your life. So within the Patreon community, where we learn even more about different aspects of mysticism and esoteric things and all of that lovely stuff, what was coming up often is a feeling of, hey, this is a time for transformation, or oh, there's just a lot of stuff happening right now. And it's hard to really be happy when you have all this stuff. Well, if you feel like you've been particularly challenged recently, it's because you have outgrown your life. And outgrowing your life just vibration, the way that you're vibrating, no longer aligns with the life that you have. You're actually being able to be expansive and go out there and get more. The problem is, it's scary. It might require you to learn things you don't know. It requires a sense of vulnerability and trust. And you have to be able to trust yourself. So I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do some Reiki symbols. I'm going to work on your energetic systems and do some clearing. And then we're going to go into doing the manifesting, because you all know me. I do not bring things in without clearing things out. Because when you bring things in without clearing things out, you become a hoarder. That's real. So let's clear out first. Let's clean things up before we add new things in. So, do you trust me? Okay. Breathing in and out. Exhale. So breathing in, I'm going to take this area right here, which is the third eye, and breathing into that, because we want to make sure that this area is as clear as possible so that you can visualize what it is that you want in the future, where it is that you want to be, and be able to imagine it. Because whenever you start something in life, if you can't see it in your mind's eye, it's really hard to feel motivated and directed in that direction, okay? So just clearing that out. And just remember, as I'm doing this, that difficulty and pressure, it is not what you think it is. It is not a punishment. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to beat yourself up. It is just one of the ways that the universe signals to us that change is going to happen. Sometimes change is smooth, and who doesn't love that? But whenever you're really going to have a big impact on something, change is tough. And when that change is tough, the amount of force that you felt pushed down is the same amount of force that will propel you somewhere. You just have to flow with the energy, and I'm teaching you how to flow with the energy, okay? So just breathing. Just in and out there. So during this time, if there's any images, visions, things coming to your third eye, allow them to be. Just allow them to exist. Allow them to take up space, and allow them to just warm over your entire body as if it was a cloak, as if it was a way for you to connect in finally with what your heart has been asking you to do in this process. See it. Take a couple moments here to be able to visualize your life and how it has changed. What is new? What is new about your life? What is new about your life? What is new? What is new? What is new? What is new about your life? How are you going to change the world or your world? How? Okay. So I'm going to take that energy down and bring it to, I'm going to work on the solar plexus, because confidence is important. It is okay to be confident and not know what the fuck you're doing. It is completely okay. I think it is easier for most people to criticize themselves without even actually seeing if that critique has any basis. But it's really hard for them to be confident for no reason. Be confident. Trust yourself. When we get into energy healing is a type of alternative medicine, and it lives within the realm of vibrational medicine, meaning a person being able to control or utilize their energetic systems in order to impact someone else, or instruments being used to be able to impact someone else's energetic systems. Let me give you an example. within this, it is very important that the energy itself feels comfortable, feels aligned for the life that you want. So you have to learn how to let go. Now, we all have to do a little bit of work. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have to do a little bit of work. And that work really is just trusting yourself that you will show up for yourself in the best way possible. That's all you gotta do. Okay. Breathing in and out. And as you exhale, let it go. Let anything that has been holding you back or trying to hold on to you, or what I like to call irrational things, because since we've just come out of a Mercury in retrograde in Aquarius, what came up a lot for you is a lot of things that have to do with your social circles, your friendships, and where you play as a person on a team. I'm not lying. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? How does she know? The planets know, okay? There's nothing new under the sun. I tell you that all the time. But there was a lot of things to restructure about where you stand in teams, who your friends are, and how you live in friendships, and things like that. And our community, our sense of community, which is the most important part of this experience here, is something that can make someone feel like, even if they don't know anything, like, I can do it. And also it can make someone who knows a lot feel like, what am I doing? Community is important. Community is key. So this is a moment to make sure that you have, it's lack of a better word, your tribe. But I feel like, let me use a better word. Let's just say community. Make sure that you have your people. Make sure that you have your communities for the different things that you like and that you feel connected to. It is so important. That is really the message that's coming across for the solar plexus, in which the confidence comes from being able to feel like you are socially protected and socially connected, because we know that if we weren't connected to each other, what would it really mean? It is our relationship with others that allows us to be one. So breathe on out. Breathe in and out there. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. Just clearing that. And just bring it on down. I want you to take 3 deep breaths here, okay? And when you're breathing out, feeling that shift in your energetic systems, feeling it aligned to the vibration that you need. Now, everybody needs a different set of alignments, vibrations, depending on the lineage or the tradition that you are using in order to feel, grounded, connected, healed, things like that. They're going to approach it in different ways, but the one thing that is very consistent is that everybody needs something different. You cannot align someone in the same way that you align, everybody else. You can't approach somebody with a nutrition plan for one person in the same way that you approach everybody else. It just doesn't make sense. We're all unique, and you have to start connecting with your uniqueness, okay? Also, feel okay with people not liking you. I mean, you're a sweetheart, but it's okay. It is okay. Do not be a people pleaser. It's pointless. It is just really pointless. And just know that if you are a people pleaser and you stop pleasing people, it's going to piss them off. And that has nothing to do with you. That's when I give you that tough love. Don't let nobody, do not let an adult bully you. Don't have no adult bullies. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So breathing in and out. Okay. relax, relax. Even if you have to shout. I made it funny. So just deep breath in and out. And now we're going to work on what y'all all love is manifesting. I get maybe the top request from people will be, how do I bring this into my life? How do I manifest this? How do I manifest that? And I tell people how to, but 9 times out of 10, I really do be feeling like you want to bring the love of your life in your life, but yet you're holding on to the exact reason why this person can't come into your life. Or it's the same thing when you think about jobs or employment. You want to have a dream job, or you want to move on to something, but yet you're holding on for dear life to something that isn't serving you and is taking up your energy. Same for friendships, same for family, same for, all of these different things. You're holding on to things that no longer serve you. And it's being able to let these things go and allow yourself to move on in transition is the most important things. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to work with our hands. So go ahead and take your hands out. If you don't feel like doing it, or for some reason you cannot utilize your hands, you can visualize these things. And what you want to do is you want to start rubbing your palms together, because this right here is just a gesture of activation within the palms, the ability of the energetic systems to be able to connect there and to be able to utilize that in order to change the energetic vibration of what you want. So as a healer, and you can rub or you can stop rubbing, that's on you. You can go at a slow cadence. You're just allowing this energy to be channeled. But what I was going to say is, as a healer, I started off healing, so doing that work, and then when you really start to break down the universe, you start to realize that things are smaller pieces of something else and they're very similar. So what it takes to help somebody who is sad is similar to what it takes to help somebody who wants to change their job. What you have to do is realign the energy. So these are for the psychosomatic things. Now, when you're dealing with physical ailments, physical sickness, then energy healing lineages become a complement to whatever other type of medical system that you want to use. The reason why I say it's a complement is because in energy, you are working with energy. But if you are so progressed in some type of illness that it is physical, then you need to work with physical medicine. I think a lot of people get lost in this, and feel like it has to be one or the other. Feels like it has to be one or the other, when it's not that at all. It is all involved. We need to get you as many resources as possible for you to be able to have access to what you need. So, jumping back into the example that I was using where things are like so tiny. Basically, to change someone's energetic flow when they are not feeling well is similar to changing their energetic flow when they want this dream job. Why? Because there is a false sense of reality going on. And this false sense of reality is working with your current energetic system. It has you in a routine or pattern to do things a certain way. You just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. But instead, what you need to do is change that energetic flow. Now, what's going to happen when you change that energetic flow to open you up and bring more in your life? It's going to get, let me not even say it like this. However you respond to change is exactly how it's going to feel. So if you're the type of person who embraces change, it's going to be exciting. If you're the type of person who fears change, it's going to be dissonant and uncomfortable. But that's the most important part to know. The reason that you're being blocked from getting what you want is because you're too afraid to accept a bigger life than what you have. The reason why you're being blocked from getting what you want is you're too afraid to accept a bigger life that you could have and the responsibilities that you need to have. With greater power comes greater responsibilities. your spiritual freedom and want to kind of push you down into this is right or this is wrong. Let them do whatever they need to do. Let them live their life and let yourself live your life. But also know that if you're going to be able to let this stuff go and embrace something bigger, embrace a bigger life, you should have some type of connection. And I'm not telling you what the connection is. The connection could be, I just believe in humanity. I believe in the energy flowing around us. I believe in a set, wisdom tradition. But you need something there, because without it, you will burn out. There are many, many energy healing practitioners who burn out because they do not have that connection. They're using their own life force energy instead of being able to connect with something bigger. Again, I know this is more of stuff that we talk about on Patreon, where we really go into these things, but it is important for you to know as well as you are releasing and letting go in this moment. So now that we're bringing in, we're manifesting, feel yourself being clear, feel yourself being relieved of the pressure that you had before, and feel yourself warming up and opening yourself up to be able to have this big life and accept change without fear. To know that if you have to walk off a mountain, that you're gonna fly. Just know it. You don't know how to fly, you're gonna fly. But I never knew how to fly. It's gonna happen. And to take baby steps. I don't know why people don't like to take baby steps. It's wonderful. It makes you feel like you're doing something when you have something really big going on. So take baby steps. Now, I want you to think of something that you want, whatever that is. Whatever that thing is that you want, I want you to think about it. And in your palms, I want your palms to start to feel a little bit warm. And that is a gesture of taking in and letting go for everything that you take into your palms to be able to fuel this dream or this goal. You are then also letting go of something that is limiting and holding you back. You just can't overfill yourself, and you cannot also let go of everything without bringing things back in as well. You want to be in balance with yourself. So as you're inhaling and exhaling, you're bringing in and you're letting go. So think of it as like the rain and the nutrients and the minerals to be able to feed the seed that you planted in yourself, to be able to grow and to expand. Okay. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay. Now, I want you to start thinking right there with the third eye. What's coming up as you are letting this new thing just open yourself up and bring you into a space of power? What are you noticing? What is expanding? What is within you? What do you notice? 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 Okay. Now allow that beautiful energy to just flow through the body, flow through the limbs, flow all the way down and flow all the way back up. Breathing in, bringing it closer to you as if you could pull your dream or your goal closer and closer. Just you're pulling that thing, right? Just closer and closer and closer until you're at a point where you have what you need. You can see the path ahead of you and you feel relaxed. You feel at ease. You feel that you are enough. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and just be. Well, family, I enjoyed this time together in these moments. I want you to know that you have something so precious. You have a passion in your heart that's trying to come out into life, into the physical. And that you are lucky because you need to do everything you possibly can do to bring that passion out of your soul and to fulfill your life's mission to be able to do that. Everyone's is going to be different. Everyone is going to have their own, journey. But the fact that there are some people who don't have I also am taking requests. So go ahead and request any type of healing video that you are looking to experience coming up soon. I'm so grateful. Thank you for sharing your hearts and your space and your homes and your relaxation. I am always channeling for your greatest good, and I cannot wait to see your purpose in the physical. I'm going to keep an eye out for it, okay? What I have is I have some shivalingam. This is a stone for fertility, a stone for abundance and bringing in. It can also be a stone for creativity if you ever have writer's block in some type of way. This is a wonderful stone for that. So I'm going to start by tracing the body. Now we start the session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to connect us to our individual healing experiences and bring us together as a community. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascendant Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Yamonja, Oshun, Mawu, and all the Taras. Please connect us to the archangels, the spirit guides, spirit animals, our lineage, and all of our highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing experience and bringing us forth as a community. I say all of this in the name of I Am, Ashe, 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 and I encourage you, implore you to rewrite the prayer. Bring your spirit guides in, bring your spiritual traditions in, and add that to the prayer as we say the prayer so that it connects to you. It is not necessary that we are all saying the exact same words. No. It makes more sense that you infuse what you actually believe and what actually resonates with you. And as you are learning more, if you want to add things into it, you do that. That's on you. But we are not, this monolith and we need to do things this one way. No, not at all. You are amazing. You're spectacular. You have a specific outlook in life that is perfect for you. You don't need to change that, to mold into something else. Just be you. Have enough confidence to trust yourself and just be you during this process, okay? And everything else, it's gonna work itself out. So, as I'm tracing over the body, I'm just feeling for just any differences or just any sensations at all. And when it comes to collective healings, the sensations are things that are much more macro level. When it's an individual person, it's much more specific. And so for these macro level things, when things come up, I'll share them. And also just, it's okay to just relax too. It doesn't have to be some big issue in life that once we remove that, now everything is great. Sometimes you can just come and relax and have a good time, child. Just chill. So just placing that and just sending that positive energy your way, okay? That you are blessed and you are abundantly favored. So I'm going to take a moment to start to clear away energetically anything in your energy field, to just remove that and let that go. I say it all the time, you cannot be an energetic pack rack where you want to keep everything and then you want to bring more stuff in, because you really can't savor what's coming into your life if you don't just kick some shit out and make some room. And when you want to do something that is uncomfortable or requires discipline so that you can grow and get better, it's better if you get rid of some other stuff, because then you start to suffocate and be all cluttered all the time, and you don't want that at all. So just clearing this out and making sure you have your daily self-care practice. And as time progresses, for me it used to be discipline meditation, discipline healing, discipline asana work, discipline X, Y, and Z, discipline philosophy, discipline And as I grow and I expand, it's more of, okay, Jessica, what is your soul asking you for today? And that's really what it is. Okay, can I connect with my soul? Can I connect with what I need? Am I listening to the subtle messages? Because I used to go into meditation in my channeling session to get messages, and then I started to open up and feel there's messages happening at all times. It's not just in your meditation session. It is okay to have it there. That is a beautiful, restful, clear time that you can just, relax, and you're getting messages at all times. So pay the fuck attention, okay? Because when they start really kicking you, how messages are, they tap, 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 tap. Then you get a boot in your ass when it's you don't pay experience I'm getting right now, where it's like you're getting a lot of messages, little messages that are now at the stage where they're becoming medium size, and you don't want them to get big. So take the action you need to. Be okay with the discomfort of having new, having change. Know that you're probably not the first one who felt discomfort, so there are solutions, but just be disciplined. A lot of people, when you look at certain things like drug use or certain kind of addictive behaviors, have such a tough time sitting in discomfort that they're looking for anything to take it away. If you are able to sit through the discomfort of something new, something that you want to do, and learn how to manage your feelings, your emotions, to try to remain balanced. You're still feeling uncomfortable, but try to remain balanced through it. When you get to the other side of it, you're so much stronger. You're less triggered by certain things that really made you feel uncomfortable before. And it's like a muscle that you work on daily, so that this life that you want becomes like unlimited. This is still a Saturn period. Saturn is the planet of discipline. Saturn embodies Capricorn, and Saturn embodies Aquarius. So Aquarius is both a perfect balance between the logical and the spiritual. So you can have and manifest anything you want in this life, but you have to put in the work, period. There's just no way to get around it. And there's nothing wrong with putting in the work, because that is our connection to each other, having to do things in the physical experience. So I'm gonna go and bring in a bit of this yellow calcite that looks a bit orange for confidence, okay? So in this moment, I want you to have the confidence you need. Now, start to think about what it is that you want to manifest. What is this dream life that you want? And bring it to both your heart and your solar plexus. Your solar plexus is right under your heart. It's like where the tip of your ribs meet, like that area. So technically, your heart, the center of your chest, your navel is your sacral, and in between those, in betwixt those, would hypothetically be your solar plexus. I always aim for that area where the ribs start to join at the bottom, because that is also where your chi is stored. That is that digestive system as well. The microbiome is 70% of our immune system. So it's a lot of important things in that area. So that's why we're working energetically there, in order to feed you energetically, feed your universe, source, whatever, that feels most comfortable and comforting to you. You can look at it like that. They say let go and let God, period. And you have to have enough faith in this big, beautiful, unconditional energy to know that you can take a leap. You know, you're ready, you got it, you can do it. You can take a leap and it's gonna be just fine. If you're not religious or monotheistic or something like that, you're much more spiritual, or you're just something else, or you don't believe in anything at all. For the spiritual path, I would say connect with your energetic helpers, your spiritual helpers. So this can be your archangels, spirit guides, spirit animals. This can be Orisha work. This can be planetary work. Some people have a very strong connection to, when I say planets, I mean like you might have a lot of Mercury in your chart, you might have a lot of Mars in your chart, so you have to balance your energy with those kind of things. Or if you just don't believe in anything, but you kind of just exist, then just trust that, you know, this invisible thread that's been keeping you together this whole time is going to continue to keep you together. I tell you all the time, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to empower you to live the life you want, to heal from these things that are tough, both emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and not feel hindered by those blockages in life, to be able to have whatever life you want. And so this is definitely a part of the process to getting there, okay? So I want you to write in the comment section, if you haven't fallen asleep, what that goal is that you want. What life do you want? I'm so excited to read that and to see what you all really want, because I think it is so important to share that with each other, because when you share your dream, others feel empowered to share theirs, and it just goes on and on and on and on, okay? Beautiful. You're doing a fantastic job. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed our session today. It is still True Love February, and I've kind of hijacked true love and said like it can be anything. I've never been the type of person that felt like true love meant like a man and a woman come together and then they live happily ever after, because as you know, I'm gay, so that's not going to be my storyline anyway. But true love doesn't have to be just, you know, people wanting to have a relationship. It can be whatever you need it to be. It can be self-love, it can be love and family, it can be the love of a passion that you have in life. But this unconditional love, because I've heard it said before that some people describe God not in the kind of like, you know, angry white man sitting in a cloud somewhere, but more of like this unconditional love. You know, if I was to guess, though I'm, you know, just one human being and not the smartest one out there, but if I had to guess, I would say God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. I would say that that is purely unconditional love, and that all of our souls are just trying to get back there, and we're living this physical experience in order to learn lessons to evolve our soul, and not necessarily learn lessons because we're bad and we're full of sin, but more of our soul understands that the experience of life is very complex, and for it to truly understand, it had to go into a physical experience to have that. And then once it, you know, is done, it may go into another life, or it might become a spiritual helper, or, you know, whatever. Like, I'm sure our life is the same thing. Like when a scientist looks down at a petri dish and, you know, wonders like, does the bacteria even know we're here? You know, I kind of feel that way about us. Like, do we really know? Like, can we really see everything? Probably not, but it doesn't matter. I just believe in this unconditional love, and I think it is our responsibility to first treat ourselves with unconditional love and have that confidence and that energy overflow to be able to give to others without needing anything in return, because we're filling our cups up first. Well, so as we activate your magical abilities, what I want to do is first explain the concept of what I mean by magic. Now, you know, there's like the illusionist magic, and then often people who are witchy or do divination or do some type of face life. We have a finite amount of energy. How do you know? Because you'll get tired, or you'll get exhausted, or you'll need this, or you'll need that, or you'll need to eat, things like that. So one of the biggest mistakes that healing practitioners do, especially those who are naturally talented and they learn early on in life, or they discover the abilities early on in life, is they use their life force energy. And that is a problem. You do not want to use your life force energy in order to do any kind of healing. What you want to do is you want to bring in this connection to source, universe, God, whatever it is you believe in, and you want to pull and channel that energy down to yourself, into the person, the situation, the circumstance. So it's kind of like a split. It's not necessarily channeling through you, but you are, for lack of a better word, petitioning universe, source energy, the energy around us, to hyper focus on this one person, situation, or thing. And the more that you practice with your meditation, the more that you channel, the more that you strengthen this connection and paying attention to these invisible signs that are all around us, the more clearly the communication will be as you are petitioning on behalf of another person. So that is one aspect. So if that's you, someone who is into vibrational medicine, energy work, and again, it is not requiring you to have a spiritual or religious path. It is just letting you know that you have to believe in something bigger than yourself, or a greater, more expansive understanding of life, in order to be able to utilize these principles, because it's going to push you past what you know in your everyday life. That's up to you to figure out what the fuck that is, okay? And then you might have those, and of course you can have a combination of all these things. Then you might have those who are doing spell work, divination, petition work, stuff like that, in which it might require herbs, it might require certain nutritional things that you take in, it might require a lineage appreciation. I want to use the term ritual, but I feel like, just like pagan, witch, ritual, things like that, I feel like it's been given such a negative connotation that I think that it's creating. I know some people have reclaimed it, like, fuck that, but I want to use a different word. It's going to explain the same thing. So I'll say appreciation. So you might see this appreciating certain god and goddesses of the lineages that you feel comfortable with. That's also Orisha work. It can also be ancestor work. It can be your direct lineage work. It can be past karma work. It can be across dimensional work. Working with archangels. Working with spirit animals. A lot of the things that I mentioned in the prayer of connection. And these are the three buckets that I'm going to talk about today, but do not feel limited to just them. I'm just kind of getting you in the mindset of where you should go. So if that happens to be you, sensation. It could just be a movement of the eyes up and down. Just allow it to be up and down, taking your time. And as you're allowing this to flow up through the crown, down to the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, all the way up and down to the ground, back up to the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, the crown, and back up. Continue this flow, and I'm going to start the prayer of connection. This prayer is important because it allows you to connect to your spirit guides, to your ancestors, to your lineage, or, as I tell you all the time, to rewrite this prayer. Rewrite it so that it fills what you need from an energetic support system. That's all it is. It's calling upon your energetic support system. The more the merrier. Bring them on in, bring them on in. If you come from a particularly, and continue the flow while I'm talking, if you come from a particularly religious background, this might be a little bit tough because it might be feeling like, oh my gosh, what am I inviting in here? That's why I say rewrite it. More than anything, you need to be comfortable. Do not repeat anything that you don't know about or you don't feel comfortable or understand. You really have to take your time to learn about each and everything and feel like you have the strength and the autonomy to go in and rewrite your specific plan. There's no one way to connect to universe, source, energy, God, or whatever it is you call this beautiful energy. There's no way. There's no way to believe one way or the other. There's room for everyone, no matter what it is. And this is my opinion. It doesn't have to be everyone's opinion. It's just my opinion. You can't get it wrong. You really can't. You can't get it wrong. I know that's controversial, but I'll just keep it there. So whichever way you feel called to, honor that and be with that. So continue this flow as I begin the prayer of connection. It is not a religious prayer. It is just a prayer to connect us in our individual healing and bring us together as community. And because consent matters, again, consent is so important. I better not see none of y'all in no weird cults or anything. And that's why consent matters. If you feel like, I don't know if I want to do, take a step back. I don't care where you're at. I've been in many situations as a energetic practitioner, energy healing practitioner, a mystical person, and there were times where I'm like, this shit seems shady, so I'm not gonna do it. And don't do it. Literally, don't do it. And sometimes I was like, oh, I was overthinking. Other times I'm like, I'm glad I didn't do that shit, you know. So always feel as comfortable as possible, and that is why the consent matters. So do I have your consent to say the prayer? Okay, continue that flow, keep that going. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Yamunja, Oshun, Mawu, and all the Taras. Please connect us to the Archangels, Spirit, Animal, Spirit Guides, our lineage, and all for our highest vibrational good only. Connect us to our lineage, our ancestors, and all for the highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing experience and bringing us forth as a community. I say all of this in the name of I am Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Okay, continue this flow. Now thinking about these abilities, you have to decide where you want to go, because it really doesn't matter which one you master. When you master that, you can utilize what you're doing there to impact change somewhere else. Meaning, if you are mastering your clairvoyant work, you can then ask questions to receive the answers you need in order to go and flow in a certain direction. If you are mastering utilizing your energetic systems and interacting with others, other people's energetic system, or other situations' energetic system, once you understand or get that sensation of like, when I do this, this generally happens, and you get that feedback from others or you observe, then you can tailor that to, oh, how do I make this X, Y, and Z happen? How do I go in this direction? You can utilize that there. Then you go over here as you're doing your spell work, your petition work, and as you go through, and I'll use the most appropriate term, ritual, which means having great discipline. This is a very ritual or discipline related activity in which things are very earthy, things are very physical. And no, you don't, I'm not saying you have to be a earth witch or something like that. I'm not saying that at all. By earthy, I'm using it through the astrology times people want magical abilities that are like, I want to move objects, I want to be able to become invisible, I want to do all of these things. I'm going to be very straightforward with you, and I'm going to be very, I'm just going to keep it real with you. What I am teaching you how to do is work with the invisible. The invisible does not require you to become invisible. If you want to move something, physically, right? It is less about me taking my mind and allowing this little thing to float along than it is of, I want this thing, I want to bring it closer to me, and then you might notice that someone just out the blue will pick it up and bring it to you. That's honestly more of what the magical concepts and honing in on your abilities is really about. I know it's much more exciting to think of like, oh, I have this thing levitating through the air, but things live within and outside of physics, live within and outside of our understanding of how things work, and that's really what I like to focus on because it's much more tangible. I don't want you to be fasting in a cave for 3,000 years until you get this little thing to move. No, what we would do here is, for this example, you might have your tool, you're visualizing you want this object close to you, and then you get to the point where you know what to write down, or you memorize it and you start to say it, you practice it, you flow with it, you just allow it to be, and then you might notice the wind knocks it over towards you, or you might notice someone might pick it up and bring it to you, or you might notice that as you leave this alone, you go out into a hallway and someone brings you a bigger bottle or the same bottle of whatever this is. It's just hand sanitizer, but whatever this is, and that is really how it flows. So you can really take your entire life, whatever you want, love in your life, career, money, family, friendships, hobbies, health, you can bring that and pull it towards you, and in that way it becomes very practical. So that was the example of what we're using with spell and divination work, and paying attention, because there's so many times where people want to miraculously heal their health, but they don't pay attention. The signs will say, go see this doctor, and they'll be like, no, I don't want to see this doctor. Go see the doctor. That was the sign. So that was on that area. Now, for those who deeply connect with the energy, using the energetic system as a whole, what I want you to do is take this moment and see if you can feel a sensation of an energy moving through your fingertips, all up your shoulders, all around your shoulders, as if you are sending a nice flow or circuit around your body. Can you practice this? Sometimes you might just have to visualize it. It is okay if you don't feel it at first, or if you need to use the eyes, or you need to close your eyes, or the sensation comes in a different way. Now try to send it the other way. What you're doing here is you're activating this very subtle, invisible aspects of energy in order to initiate and impact somewhere else. Now you can also rub the hands here in order to just connect you and be like, hey, like, keep the hands open. Keep the hands open here. But just reminds you of your physical body. I don't know how many times I walk around and I'll forget that, like, I have shoulders and knees. I'm not thinking about my knees. I'm not thinking about my pinky toe. I'm not thinking about these things. But this is a nice exercise to do in which you're bringing awareness here. And in this example, your limbs, or whatever it is that you want to use in this moment, become the tool that initiates the impact. So instead of writing it down, what we're going to do here is we're going to allow the hands to flow in a certain direction. Now, I believe the best thing to do is work on self-healing first. So we'll take our hands and we'll bring them to ourselves, and we'll petition universe, energy source, to bring this energy down, to fill up our tools, and to bring the greatest amount of alignment. Go ahead and do this. The greatest amount of alignment, clarity, and understanding. You can do this in your, as I talked about before, your meditation practice, in which you're clearing out, or you're trying to organize or expand. I want you to see the future that you want. Your goal future. And what is driving you forward there. I want you to see all the answers to the questions you have been having answered. And I'm going to put that energy over you and infuse it into your third eye and your remaining chakras so that you may utilize this ability at any time. Okay. Now breathe in and out here 3 times. 2 more. Final breath. And as you release and you let go here, what is the first thing that comes to mind? What is the first thing that you're thinking about? Write it down. If you have great memory, just memorize it. This is going to be really important. So if it's not clear, like it's like a random word like apple or something, it's time for you to go and flush that